What's going on, guys? It's Chev back here over on some more Call of Duty. I didn't make much progress since yesterday's video because I actually ended up getting an invite into the Marvel Rivals alpha thing that they got going on at the moment. It's basically like an Overwatch clone. With that said, though, you know, for an alpha, it's actually very solid. I saw somebody in the comments on my last video say like, dude, you're sitting there complaining about them using shotguns. Meanwhile, you're using a shotgun. No, I said those shotguns. I'm talking about the models, which are 10 times more cheesy than this shit. I swear people just be looking for anything to be wrong about. It's crazy. I mean, it's not like shotguns aren't cheesy or anything like that in hardcore. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying I'm not using the strongest shotguns that are in the game. Ghost of Tsushima is out in a couple days over on PC. I'm definitely gonna at least do a one-off video on the whole thing. I gotta stop sprinting around corners. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Why is my teammate smoking me? I got so much Elden Ring shit on my timeline now. All right, shotgun's done. Let's go with the Bruin. I saw that people were clowning Kai and like really blowing it up that he's died like hundreds of times on the Tree Sentinel. People talking about how embarrassing that is and all this other shit. See, here's the thing. What's embarrassing is to actually quit the game and not beat the game. That's the embarrassing part. Giving up is the embarrassing part. He didn't give up that entire time. Also, I'd argue that without that fight, he wouldn't be even half the player that he currently is. Doing that fight and conquering that is a huge part of player development right there. He learned how to actively one hand, two hand, when to swing, when not to swing. Could you imagine if he didn't fight that Tree Sentinel and then immediately was like fighting Margit instead? I'm playing support mostly over on Marvel Rivals. One thing I will say though about the game is that because of like the way and all the powers and speed that everybody is moving in the game, it feels like there's absolutely zero frontline and like peel ability in this game. Like in Overwatch, you actually had to get through the front line or at least play well and flank properly in order to get to the back line and kill the healer. In this game, you get into the back line for free and the shit is just brain dead easy. I'm seeing people post a gameplay of like Black Panther and shit where they're just dashing around, acting like that's some sort of skillful shit. The dude literally walked in front of everybody, dashed around 4 times, and then got to the back line and then just popped the healers. How is that shit hard? The shit is brain dead. You don't even have to actually flank properly. You just fly. Just fly around, go invisible, go through a wall. Okay, now we're on to the Interstellar shotgun. I'm not playing Stash House. Goodbye. Been seeing more and more questions about whether or not Tac Sprint will be in the next Black Ops. I have a feeling that it probably will be in there. I don't see why not. I don't think Tac Sprint is enough of like a complaint from players for them to get rid of it. And it also makes movement more engaging, if that makes sense. I'm not even going to talk about like a skill set or anything. I mean, it's just fun to move when Tac Sprint is in the game. Does that make sense? The not fun part is like the actual fatigue that it could put on your hand or thumb or whatever. X-Defiant is less than 10 days away. Oh my goodness. Everything is coming out. This is so good. I'm so happy. I got so inspired to play Elden Ring yesterday, watching all that, that I went and started a I was like, okay, I want to do a playthrough where there's like absolutely zero cheese. I want to do the most basic playthrough I possibly can. I was like, okay, I want to go and use a weapon that has no effect on it whatsoever. I don't want to do anything that's like bleed procs, poison, rot. I don't want to do any of that. One of the big things about Elden Ring is like the variety of builds that you can do and the different types of effects that you can have on your weapons. And the thing is, people will say like almost anything and everything in the game is cheesy, especially magic and other things like that. People definitely have a very particular hatred towards it. So that whole thing changed me and turned me into a gut sword spammer, a strength enjoyer, if you will. But the thing is, with that strength build, you do a lot of posture damage or poise damage or whatever. You break their stances, so you end up doing crits. And a lot of people are starting to say that even that is cheesy. So I decided that I wanted to go and do a strength build that has no strings attached. I'm not going to stagger them. I'm not going to do critical attacks. I'm not even going to use a heavy weapon. So I ended up finding one of the few strength daggers in the game. I picked a dagger because I knew that it wouldn't break their posture, and I stuck with strength because I didn't want any like weird strings attached. I started that character yesterday, and the only bosses that I have left to kill are Moog and Melania. So I started and beat the game in like 5 or 6 hours just using this dagger I was using was called it's the one that Malekith uses, not the one with the destined death fire on it. It's the one that he stabs his hand with. I specifically just walked around with one dagger the entire time, two-handing it. It looked really stupid, don't get me wrong. The fact that, like, you can't even move down that side of the map without getting shot one way or the other is just so annoying.
You're the target. UAV ready to deploy. Turret available. UAV standing.
Just always on my dick. Every single time I kill somebody, they always just lock on to where I was. They don't care about anyone else. Specifically come after me.
Hard point relocated. Stand by. Hard point relocated, Leah.
So tonight I'm probably gonna end up killing Mogan Millennia. Shit, I might even record it. I still can't figure out what's going on with my screen recording stuff. I'm usually using the NVIDIA Shadowplay thing for gameplay specifically, and for a second voice track, just in case I end up losing it for whatever reason. And it just has this really annoying thing that whenever I tab away from the game, it just stops recording now. I have no idea how to fix that. It's consistently an issue. I've uninstalled, reinstalled the drivers, I've updated drivers.
Kev, I love you.
Love you too, man. Everything that I've ever looked up about it, all it says is, oh, make sure you have your privacy thing turned on or off, but that was never an issue before. I have this setting turned on so I can record desktop as well as the game. It should just be capturing this screen right here, regardless of what I'm doing. I could tab out, I could drag stuff over top of this, I could do all of that stuff, and it would still continue recording just specifically this screen, this monitor only. I would have no issues tabbing out, dragging things in front of it, moving it off, closing things, opening new stuff up, so long as I had it recording, and I had that setting on, it was just recording. Now it's just fucked up. Yeah, the next 2 weeks is gonna be nice though, because we got the Ghost of Tsushima thing, then X Defiant comes out, and then on top of X Defiant, a week later after X Defiant, Multiverses comes out. And we're like 40 days away from the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. I'm super ready. I'm disgustingly ready. I have to delete characters to do new runs. All these characters are just sitting there. Also, Vondi is Pog, the one dude that was saying that we're gonna be getting a reveal soon, probably just a logo or whatever. He ended up tweeting directly at me, and he said that on the 22nd, so what, 10 days from now? Obviously, things could get moved around. They could potentially see that that's leaked and then move it around. Who knows? He could just potentially be wrong, but we'll see. I'm wondering what the next, like, big thing will be. Because this will be the first Treyarch game that's, like, on this, quote, the same engine as everybody else. I'm wondering if they're still going to have that Treyarch feel. Does that make sense? Treyarch always had, like, this more bare bones feel to it, but the content added on top of it was, like, the real shining thing. The maps are usually better, stuff like that. I wonder what the new thing is going to be for the game. Is it going to be movement related? Is it going to be weapon related? Is it going to be handling? Is something going to change with, like, the class setups? Oh my goodness. Using his dual models, here we go. These lobbies are sweaty as fuck. Game is so silly. As soon as you go and set down a sentry, the enemy team will spawn directly on top of you, so you can immediately lose control of that kill streak. Like, in a way, you can kind of predict the spawns by utilizing its bad logic. Let me pick up these. You're basically never reloading with those models. You can always shoot, and they got great range in hardcore. I know that they got nerfed and everything because they were definitely overtuned after they fixed them. We were getting flashes of the old models. Give us more Elden Ring. Trust me, I'd love to. Pretty sure Bugs Bunny is nerfed over on Multiverses as well, but I'm still probably gonna play it. Then again, I'm seeing over on the Multiverses site or whatever that apparently Joker is gonna play like a mage, but we'll see how that goes. Technically, Bugs Bunny played like a mage too, but if I don't like the moves, I just won't like him. It is what it is. The type that they're described as mage, brawler, assassin, whatever, doesn't really matter if I just simply don't like the moveset. I mean, he went negative, but at least he got 2 minutes in the hardpoint, I guess. It's something. Yeah, maybe I'll just go and upload Elden Ring tomorrow. I even contemplated doing it for this video, but we'll see.